What's the grossest thing you've eaten? So I ate an earthworm once. It tasted like dirt. It honestly wasn't that bad. It was exactly how I expected it to taste, and so I slurped it like spaghetti, and then it was done. See, the things that I've eaten that I've hated the most are things that are food that are maybe even considered delicious in other cultures, but my palate just doesn't have any sort of context for that. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've experienced the same thing. Your friends love sushi and you can't stand it. Or maybe you hate pizza or a certain kind of ice cream. Well, the Israelites are now beginning to wander in the desert, right? They're looking for the promised land. God is just taking them a little bit outside of Egypt. And as they're traveling, what do they need the most? It's water. What they find is this water, this oasis-looking place, but it's disgusting. The water is undrinkable. They call it Mara, which means bitter, because they can't stand the taste. But what God does is he makes the water sweet. In other words, he makes it drinkable. Water is sustaining life in the desert. Without water, you don't live. You don't survive. So what God is doing is providing for them. And then Moses takes the opportunity to note that it's at this place where God made life-sustaining water possible. God's going to give them statutes. He's going to give them things to obey. He's going to give them a way of life. And as he encourages them to be his people, he expects them to worship him, to follow him, to trust him, and to love him. God's law is given in order for his people to know how to live. And he's reminding them that when they're in uncertain circumstances, when they're worried, when they're fearful of what might not happen or what will happen, they can trust in him and his plan. And so this reminder that God can change water into something that they can drink is just another reminder that God will provide if they trust him and obey him and love him.